Who's on here? Can you type in a little chat? My video not working? Turn this around. There we go. What's going on? Who can make a comment for me? Gotta make sure this thing works. Who can type something? Anyone? Alright, we got 4 people on here. Nice. Very good. Hopefully a couple more. Can someone type something so I know that this is working right? Waiting for it. Alright, who knows? I'm just gonna get right into this because it's being recorded. And if you like it, sweet. Hopefully this helps you out. Goal setting, it's huge. Without it, who knows where you're gonna be. If you don't have goals in life, then you're going to be like that guy driving down the street with his eyes closed. If you don't have a destination, you don't know where you're going. So I'm just going to hop right into this. This is a 4-part strategy that I use every month, and I'm just starting to go online with this so I can help more people, and hopefully it becomes a pretty cool little monthly get-together thing. And once I have a recorded video session of this, then I'll just be able to refer people to it. And you can do this anytime, whenever you need to. So let's get right into it. Part 1, we're going with categories. So when you're writing down goals, you want to write down some categories. I don't know what you're laughing at, but hi. So first we're going to go with a couple categories. The first one is going to be your health. And so I've got this sweet notepad, and I'm just going to write down June goals, and I'm going to write down health. And I'm going to come up with just a couple goals for health. You know, that could be like lose weight, it could be like get huge, it could be train for an Ironman, or you know, any kind of health goals you have. Maybe just eat one nutritious meal every day. When I first started doing goal setting, health was the #1 most important part for me. And because if you're not healthy, how can you think straight? How can you have good ideas? How can you be productive at work if you can't even think? So health is going to be the first categories, and I'm just going to go through these quick because, you know, it's recorded, so you'll be able to do these later, and you'll be able to pause and rewind however you want. Second category is going to be places to go. I don't care, you know, for any of these ideas, go crazy. Don't put any limitations on yourself. You know, I want to go this year to Argentina, Colombia, Italy. Got family there. All right. Next category, things to do. Again, I set some goals 5 years ago that I wanted to ride across America on a motorcycle. Had a dirt bike, so I did that last summer. Another one of my goals is ride a KLR 650 pretty much all through South America. So that would be pretty sweet. I'll go crazy with that. All right, next one, financial goals. Go big or go home. You can always come up with realistic ones later, but realistic's boring. It's not going to motivate you, so screw it. Be unrealistic. All right, next one we're going to go with are things that you want to have. So obviously for me, I need to get a KLR 650. And you find, as you do these every month and every 6 months, you're going to find that some of the things that you want are going to change, and some of the things you're going to get them. And let's say, you know, I used to want a Camaro. Well, I just did a road trip in a Camaro. That thing's not actually that nice of a drive. The visibility's poor, the turning radius, the acceleration, so I'm actually not even going to put that on my list anymore. But because I had that written as a goal, you know, I just happened to have a road trip where I got to experience what it was like. All right, rocking on. Next category, things to learn. This one's huge. I taught myself how to build a website. I actually just built my whole new website today, and I'll be coming out with that pretty soon. I just have to plug in all of my content. It took me about 3 hours to build my whole website, and that's something I taught myself last year. Also taught myself pretty much how to speak Spanish, at least conversationally. Let's go. All right, these are the three most important ones, I think. These are things that you want to become. The things that you want to become. What's an example? Sorry, I'm sweating here. It's wicked hot. Things you want to become. That could be like more patient. That's important. More accepting of other people's beliefs. Less confrontational. These are all really important goals that you can have. So those ones should be at the top of your list. All right, next one. I call these ones relationship goals. And this isn't necessarily relationship with a significant other. It could also be a relationship with, with your family, with your brother, sister, your friends. Just to be maybe more open, better listener. Things that you know that you could work on that you can pretty much put in there. All right, let's go with last one. Last goal category. And I call this one personal. And these ones, let's see what I've written in the past. One was just to be more consistent, be more energetic, be more supportive of other people. That's like a personal goal that doesn't really fit into all the other things, but I find it really important. And so that brings me to, in part 3, we're going to go over which are the most important goals. And that's been kind of my focus this spring, is to be consistent and supportive, so that I can help more people, and so that I can grow my business, build my websites, build who I am as a person. And without consistency, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything. What's the book? If you've read the Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, talks about the most powerful thing in human discovery is compounding interest. If you have a penny and you double it every single day, within 1 month, it's like $10 million or something crazy like that. So that's why we want to build habits. I'm not so focused on goals. I'm more like, how can you change your life every single day? All right. So take 10, 20 minutes, write down goals for all those. You can write 3, you can write 15, whatever, go crazy. Don't limit yourself. Think like a kid, like before Christmas when you're writing a Christmas list. All right, let's go on to, this is part 2. And I call this one the Terrible 10. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with 10 terrible habits that you have. And this might take a while, but let's see. One of them for me might be, eating gummy bears. I try to eat really healthy, but I'm totally addicted to gummy bears, as most of my friends will tell you. That's kind of my weakness. It's my crutch. I don't know. I don't know if I want to quit that. I probably should, but it's not super important to me, but I'm going to list it as one of my terrible 10. Another one could be, failure to get up at the same time every morning. This one's really important. Wake up time. Maybe it's important to you, maybe it's not. If it is, that could be one of your terrible 10. Let's go with, anyway, you're going to take a couple minutes, come up with 10 terrible habits. And once you're finished with that, we move on to part 3. And this is where we come up with our most important tasks. So each week and each day, you need to decide what your most important tasks are going to be as you plan your day, as you plan your week. Now, if you don't do this, then you're going to get caught wasting time, working on God knows what, when at the end of the day, you're going to feel like shit because you didn't get what you wanted to get done accomplished. Whereas your 3 most important tasks, if you accomplish one of them, that's the kind of thing that's going to make you feel like you had a great day. So how do you determine which are your most important tasks on a weekly or daily basis? And that's where you go back to your goals. So you've got this huge list of goals. I haven't filled out my whole sheet yet, but once you're finished, you'll have it all filled out. And you're going to choose the 3 most important ones. Hey, Brian, what's going on? I'm recording this, so you'll be able to catch it in all later, which is going to be sweet. So anyway, part 3 is you're going to grab your 3 most important tasks or your 3 most important goals, and you're going to write down each one on your piece of paper. Goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. And for those ones, you're going to write out 10 reasons why those are so important to you. You know, Simon Sinek talks about the power of why, you know, and this goes pretty much every single motivational speaker you've ever heard of harps on the importance of why we do something, because maybe you want to do something, but if you don't have a strong enough reason, then you're never going to be able to get anywhere with that. So take your 3 goals, write out 10 reasons why. That's probably going to take you a long time because it's hard to come up with 10 reasons. But if it's important to you, then you got to take that time, because when you're feeling unmotivated, you can always come back to this and be like, oh yeah, if I don't accomplish this goal, like, I don't know, we'll go with the waking up early. If I don't accomplish this goal, then I'm never going to have the extra time I need to accomplish this project, which is going to set me up for this future. So this is the most important part. The second part of, the second area of part 3 is taking the two of the terrible 10, and these are the habits that you know are causing the most amount of procrastination, the most amount of wasted time, the most amount of pain and suffering in your life. And you have to be like, if I don't quit these, then I'll never be able to change whatever I wanted to change. You know, if I don't, like, for me, it was online gaming. I was super addicted to online gaming. And I tried to quit it took me 2 years. And I can't even buy a computer that has games because I know I'd just get sucked in. But what I did, and if I had access to my old goal setting workshop that I had from 2012, so 4 years ago, is I wrote, if I don't quit gaming, then I will never have the time, energy, or motivation to accomplish any of the goals that I want to get done. And I will be miserable and inside, like, sitting on a computer when I could be, you know, traveling the world and doing all sorts of awesome stuff that I've done in the last year since I quit gaming. You know, I've been to like 10 different countries and driven across the United States, worked 4 or 5 different jobs, just going crazy and loving it. So part 3, 10 reasons why we're doing each goal, and then 10 reasons why you need to quit 2 of those terrible 10 habits that you've got going on. Alright, so those are going to take a little time. And I like to call them terrible 1 and terrible 2. Alright. Okay, so let's do a quick review here. We wrote down the categories of goals. We wrote down goals for each one. Then we wrote down terrible 10 habits. And then for part 3, we wrote down the 3 most important goals and our 2 most terrible habits, and we're going to write down 10 reasons why we need to quit those. And from these, each week, when you make your weekly planner, you're going to go in and pick those 3 goals or 2 habits or whatever, and you're going to be like, okay, at the top of this week, these are 3 things that I need to accomplish. And it doesn't have to be, you know, if you're trying to build a website, you're not going to say on Monday, I'm going to build a website. You're going to say on Monday, you know, I'll set up the host. On Tuesday, I'll buy a domain name. On Wednesday, I'll plug it into WordPress. On Thursday, I'm going to, you know, download a theme. And on Friday, I'll put a skin on that theme. Just an idea of how you're going to break things down. And you break it down in these little parts each day. And, you know, in 3 weeks, not only have you built a website, but you've taught yourself how to build a website. And that's pretty much exactly what I did a little over a year ago. Taught myself how to build a website. And just recently, my domain expired, so I switched hosts, bought a couple new domains, bought my mom a domain, got hosting for 5 years and threw up a website in about an hour, and now, I don't ever have to pay people to do that. It's part of me now. It's one of my skills. So that's just an example of how you can take these simple goals, break them down into little parts each day, and accomplish huge things that when you first look at it, like, I don't know who you're watching, maybe you're a computer techie, but most people aren't. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn how to build a website. That's a daunting task, terribly difficult. And now I can just throw it together, and it's really not that stressful at all. So I hope this helps. That's pretty much the goal setting workshop that I go through every month. And it's just the amount of things that I've checked off my goals, and I can, whenever I'm feeling down, I can go to my goals and look at them. And that really brings me to kind of the closing point that I wanted to make is goal setting is not just for successful people. Goal setting is pretty much most important when you're down in the dirt, when you're having bad luck, and that's pretty much exactly where I am right now. But I'm not going to get down on myself because I know how fast that life can turn over and flip-flop from everything being awesome to everything being, frustrating and back and forth. And, I have these long-term goals that I'm working towards, and this keeps me focused when everything seems like it's going to hell. And, that's exactly where I am today. Brittany was trying to talked to me earlier today, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm way too busy right now. I got stuff to do. I got things to write down, think about, and these goals just really help me stay focused on what I got to get done and how I'm going to do it. So let's see. I'm going to pretty much just call it there. So if you want to pause or whatever, I'm going to just leave this open for questions for a little while. And once this is loaded on my... Actually, if you want to, I think on my Facebook page, you can just go right now and reload it and just watch from the beginning. And if you type comments or questions, then I'll be able to answer them right at this time. So if, Brian, I know you got here late, so if you want to go back and check out what I was saying early, go for it. And if you type something in, I'll just comment on here. So I don't know if you'll see that right away, but you'll get to it eventually. As for now, I'm just going to work on this. The other option, Brian, is this: you just go to the to your category 1, and the categories are health, to go, to do, financial, to have, to learn, to become, relationship, and personal. Don't have a PDF, but I got this guy. Here you go. See that guy? I'll read them off again if you want to write them down real quick. So we got health, to do, to go, financial, to have, to learn, to become, what's that last one? Relationship goals, and personal. I actually did make some PDFs of this stuff, and I had it as downloads on my old website. So I'll definitely work on putting those up on the new one. My new website's going to be less focused on sports med and more focused on me as a brand and all of the varying things that I offer. I will throw up the sportsmed.tips website again, but I want to get this kind of Joshua Thompson fitness thing going at the same time because I feel like it's more applicable to more people. So, did you get all those categories? Let's see here. Awesome, dude. So yeah, part 1 is the categories, part 2, terrible 10, and part 3 is you choose your top 3 goals, 2 worst habits, and you write down 10 reasons why you got to change them. yeah. Any other questions? If not, I'm just gonna cut this off so you can go back and watch it as much as you want, and then hopefully you guys give me some feedback. I'm gonna do this every month, and I'm just gonna leave this goal setting workshop up, and I'll post. You know, if I can get a good one, I'll post it right to the website. I know this is like a totally new thing for me. Yeah, this is definitely one of my new goals, was to go outside my comfort zone and try something new, which I've been doing as often as I can. Dude, my hair's being really weird right now. Alright, so I'm not seeing any other questions. I'll definitely shoot you some updates on that PDF when I get the website finished. Should take me about a week to throw in all my own content. It's looking pretty sweet, by the way. If not, I'm just going to call it here. Sound good? Alright, dude.